All right, now we're going to take a look at this story from this group called Sage Ops. Now, for some reason, the story hasn't really blown up very much. I can't remember even where I stumbled upon it, but it's not getting a lot of coverage in the normal circles. I guess people are just kind of over it now. They're not getting clicks anymore from fucked up school stuff. So this is a mother who went undercover, essentially. I don't think she intended to be like an undercover whistleblower type, but she was just kind of recording these conversations for her own for her own safety, essentially. So it says Sexualized Education Part 1, Psych Tests, Sex Dolls, and Groping. For years, a 7th grade science teacher has had 11 and 12-year-old students take a personality test that reveals their romantic tendencies. Other class assignments include links to the best sex dolls, sex toys, penis pumps, etc. A Lakeland Copper Beech middle school mother covertly recorded a meeting with the school's principal and a science teacher after discovering her son's 7th grade class had been given multiple sexually inappropriate assignments during the school year by the teacher. Who's in the meeting? Steve Trinkle, the 7th grade science teacher, Frank Ruolo, principal, and the mother. Where was this meeting? The meeting takes place on June 5th, 2023 at Lakeland Copper Beech Middle School in Yorktown Heights, New York, which is part of the Lakeland Central School District located in Shub Oaks, New York. What was discussed? The personality test for kids, etc. So we're going to watch the video. If they're just going to describe the video, I don't want to read it and then kind of rewatch it. The first assignment discussed in this video is the personality test. Or maybe we'll circle back if it's relevant. But we'll check out this footage. So we know why she's there. She's there to talk to them about these assignments, these psych tests, the links that are provided from the 7th grade science teacher. Professor's also got a clip him going, "Good point, Dave." Oh, for sure, actually. Yeah, we need new Dave drops. So I'm down.
So this is a newer resource that you've
This is right on here. Any kid can see this. Any kid. It's got best penis pumps. It's got the best sex dolls. Heavy petting, groping. Middle schoolers can't keep their hands off each other.
Chemical dance that allows this to happen is one of the sexiest things that goes on in your body other than, like, sex.
I'm very sorry. This is nothing that I would have ever wanted to have anybody exposed to.
Who wants to know what my...
Like, when they're kind of showing you a little bit of the highlights here, I guess. But it's just like you've been giving the kids these resources, sending them to take a psych test because this is like outside of like the school's in-house system of material. They have to go to a website for this. And I just don't believe, because they kind of just say, "Oh, I didn't know that stuff was there." And I don't believe that for a second. Are you serious? Like you didn't do a thorough look of what this website was, like what this test was?
son's proclivity to certain sexes, birth control, herpes home tests, where to get your best sex doll, how to enlarge your penis.
Like I said, we'll notify technology of the website. Make sure it gets put on the file.
But you will not notify the parents.
I just want to say I don't know who Sage Ops are. I don't know if it's some sort of weird group or whatever. I have no clue who they are.
How are you? Thank you for meeting me.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, first week of September, that personality test, it was very disturbing as a parent to see that. Came home after taking a personality test. He told me what character he was. It was from a website that was only made for use for adults. It even states on the very first page of that website that it is for adult content only, and it even explains, a company that makes personality tests even explained personality tests should never be given to somebody 18 or younger.
And this is all the stuff she's talking about right now is available on the website that they send these kids. It says explicitly that this is not to be used with minors because of its kind of inappropriately personal nature. Prof says at some point you just stop debating these people and just start testing the tensile strength of the lamp post.
He said he answered them funny, whatever. He got virtuoso, and it gave him basically what his sexual inclinations would be. Now, I don't know why that should have ever been on his Chromebook. It was about 2 paragraphs about how he would be quick to turn from a relationship to sex, that he's a very sensual person, that he knows how to change his partner's mind.
So think about this. These are 7th graders. This is a very impressionable time in their life, right? When you're kind of really trying to, in earnest, figure out who you are as a kid. And to poison them with some bullshit like this, taking a personality test that's going to plant all these seeds in their heads, going to kind of cause them to engage in self-destructive behavior.
Quickly, and that he's basically very manipulative in that way where he...
Like, what would be the point of this? What would be the fucking point of giving this to a kid that age? Like, this is what I mean. Like, these people, and this is because this is not something that is in the curriculum, like, hard. This is something that the teacher in the classroom probably added themselves. Sending his students to this place so they can what? What are they going to do with these results? Who gets to see these results? I assume you would have to show the results to prove that you did the assignment. That's fucking grooming behavior. That's creep shit. And the guy just sits there with a fucking blank look on his face. Like, he knows exactly what is on this website. He knows. You could see it in his face. Like, he's scared. He's worried. He's stressed out about having this conversation. Spoiler alert. Because we wouldn't be talking about this if it ended well, I suppose. Nothing happened to any of these people. And there's not even any clear indication that any of this changed. And we will see some of the fallout. But it gets worse.
He can get somebody who doesn't want to do something to do it. That was beyond disturbing. Met with Mr. Rulo. He told me that you apologized profusely. That personality test alone was a real big kicker. My son is only...
Prof said in 7th grade, our math teacher had assorted pencils with random names. Everyone wanted the gina, so you could turn it into vagina. Kids literally don't need any more encouragement. Seriously, it's like they don't even need encouragement. They're immature. Like, that's an example of, like, they're not mature enough to be like having these kinds of conversations. Like, you got to let kids be kids and organically, go through experiences and figure this shit out on their own. To, as an adult, like, put yourself as part of that process should set off red flags. Red alert. Where's our boy Dave? Where is he? Where you at, Dave? Where you at?
No, I got to start this off with a red alert, red alert, red alert.
That's a red alert. Somebody wants to talk to kids of this mental capacity, of this level of maturity about any of this kind of shit.
Innocent once. And once you take that away from him, he's gone. Okay? He was 11 when he took that personality test.
First and foremost, that is not a school lesson or something that we would...
See, it's not a school lesson. That's why it wasn't flagged in their system. That's why nobody knew about it except for the students. Also, it's another example, like this has been going on for a while, that they were giving these kids these tests. Like, how disconnected are people from their own children and what the fuck is going on in their house and what they're doing at school? Like, holy shit. She's the first. Is she the? Well, you know what? In fairness, she might not be the first person that's addressed this, but she's the first person that has, like, I guess, escalated it through the system. Because as you'll see, is that they're not big on disclosure for things like this.
We blocked it. The district blocked it. Not even Copper Beech. The district has blocked it.
I believed it would never happen again. I believed you didn't know that it was an adult website. Then.
So this is the second conversation she's had about this. That's what they're demonstrating. She had gone in with concerns a year before. This is the second conversation about this. I don't know how. I mean, this lady, I guess maybe she came in good faith, trying to do the right thing, remaining calm, going through the system. But especially if this had been my second conversation about this, the police would have been fucking called. No, you can talk to them. You guys figure it out. You guys figure out if he did something illegal. Providing children links to illicit material.
2 weeks ago, he's sitting next to me. He couldn't answer one question. And he was sitting next to me playing it on his Chromebook, this video, over and over again. And then all of a sudden I was like, what? What was that? Heavy petting, groping.
Look at his face. Look at his fucking face. You think this guy didn't know about that stuff?
Middle schoolers can't keep their hands off each other.
Now, when the muscle cell is at rest, none of these strands are touching each other, but they really desperately want to. They're like middle school students at a formal dance. The myosin in particular wants nothing more than to reach its little heads up and do some heavy petting with the actin.
They need chaperones to keep their hands off each other because they're just animals that need to grope each other.
There are a couple of things that keep this groping from happening. The first is a set of two proteins wrapped around the actin. Let's just continue our middle school metaphor. They're
Now, the reason they're going to pitch something like this is like, well, this is educational because kids are going through a lot of hormonal changes and everything's, their chemistry is all going wacky and they have all these feelings and blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of, they're trying to mask this thing where they're actually, because they're suggesting things about your values and your behavior and your level of personal responsibility, while at the same time telling you about the science of it. Yeah. Prophet said, imagine the predator poacher getting right up in this guy's face and being really friendly. That's what I would love to see. You know, and that's actually, it's funny that you bring up predator poachers, but if you look at that guy's face, he looks like somebody that got busted by Alex Rosen. You know what I mean? He has that kind of look on his face.
The chaperones. They protect the actin from groping.
Stored frustration in their head. And it builds and builds, this frustration of the head, and then explodes at go time.
The chemical dance that allows this to happen is one of the sexiest things that goes on in your body other than, like, sex.
I mean, why would it be appropriate to use that kind of language? Are you just trying to be like hip with the kids? Is this some sort of lame attempt at being fucking cool? What is it? Like, what is the drive behind that? The sexiest thing that can happen in your body. Ugh. I
just couldn't believe it. And then I look, it's for college kids or 18 and older. You promised me this wouldn't happen again.
We have a vetting process.
I need to know how in the world, you said that first the personality thing was not approved curriculum. Mm-hmm. I guarantee this wasn't approved curriculum either. How does that...
Yeah, that this principal is just here to save his own ass. Be like, right, yeah. Look at his face, dude. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that punum.
And this is where the whole thing goes topsy-turvy.
Continue to happen. And adult content. Adult, and then we're not talking just adult content. We're talking about sexual content.
The weird thing is, though, I mean, maybe it's he was advised to do this, just kind of let her talk at him. Like, because there's not even an attempt to rationalize it. There's not an attempt to be like, well, there's something you're misunderstanding or these are special circumstances or anything. Like, that's not even broached. That's not even like even talking about the video she's talking about. Like, he doesn't say like, well, that's a science video. And it's funny that that video is intended for, you know, college students because it's like has the cadence and style of a video for a sixth grader. Another red flag planted down as we slowly decline faster and faster as we pick up speed. So I guess we're not slowly. Anyway, I'm going to hit this button.
If we were to use a Hollywood term, we'd say shots fired, shots fired.
In both.
Let Mr. Trickle speak and then I'll address you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for coming in, and I take this very, very seriously. The fact that for 21 years nothing like this has happened, the vetting process has been successful. The fact that it happened twice is embarrassing.
Twice to the same kid.
For me, professionally and as a person, It's extremely frustrating, especially because the conversation that I had with Mr. Rulo, if I could take this back, I would. I'm working with my administrative team to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Again, I'm taking this very...
Yeah, but there's no, see, this is what I mean. Like, there's no attempt to even explain why it would have been there in the first place. Like, who recommended this? Who suggested that this was an appropriate place to draw assignments from?
Seriously, this is nothing that I would have ever wanted to have anybody exposed to. I can just apologize for all of the stress that it's caused. I'm very sorry.
Well, thank you for saying that, but you know, honestly, like I said, my son is literally innocent once. Once he sees this stuff, that's it. You never unsee it. And then when I see things like this, it only makes me wonder, who wants to know what my son's proclivity to certain sex is, like in that personality test? And now I have two different things that were adult rated, and both had sexual content. And then last night, while I was preparing for this meeting, I decided to look through the last couple assignments again. So I'm going to show you my son's Chromebook. I'm going to go to classes.
Nervously drinking water. Process, geez, lady, you really that upset about me liking kid pussy? I mean, come on, be cool.
I'm going to go to classes. We're going to go to life science. And I'm going to go down to May 24th. Body systems reveal. So this was posted, a new assignment, Stephen Trinkle, body systems reveal. We just pull it up and then.
You familiar with the assignment?
This is assignment you gave.
This asshole. Busted. He does. He looks like somebody on Predator Poachers. Busted.
The kids, right? Some sort of pictures, information to go with their assignment, right?
Supplemental material to review some of the processes.
Okay, that's from .com. It's a website.
Okay.
It is for 18 years or older.
Is there something on that page that?
Yes.
Yeah, so could you, I just want to be able to.
Doesn't the fact that it says explicitly that this is not for children make any further conversation kind of unnecessary? And just being like, yeah, no, we're not ever going to use this as a resource again. The guy's like, well, what's on that particular page? Does it matter, fat fuck?
You go just here, just on the very first page where there's all these body systems. Explore additional resources. Let me just read you a couple of them. Blue Chew reviews. Blue Chew is Viagra. STD checks. You can get home tests for STD and herpes on this. Quick.
What, you don't care about your kids? You don't want them to know if they got gonorrhea?
Extender Pro, that's penis extender.
This is exactly how these kinds of groomers operate too. Because they're not going to directly give it to you. They're going to show you things that surround it. You can find it for yourself. Maybe you'll have some questions, you know? Maybe you'll find them and ask them after class.
Hims and Hers review. That's Hims and Hers. You could buy birth control. You can buy all sorts of sex supplements.
So is this a newer resource that you've been
This
using
is
for?
right on here. Any kid can see this. Any kid. It's got best penis pumps. It's got the best sex dolls. Let me just read you one thing from the best sex dolls page. As children, we form bonds with dolls and stuffed animals, which are wholly inanimate. Later in life, we connect with pets, the bulk of whose emotional complexity we project on them ourselves. So it's no great leap to understand how someone could imbue an inanimate doll with a voice, a personality, or an eroticism, and even a kind of soul.
Wow. How dark is that? Suggesting that because we kind of anthropomorphize animals, our pets, that's the same thing as kind of giving into the nature of a sex doll. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I can understand if you're selling sex dolls, you would write that, but why would this be something that a 7th grade kid would have access to?
And there's a big picture of a sex doll. She
Weird.
looks just like a girl.
But see, that's one of the things that we're working on with Mr. Trinko as far as editing. That went up prior to us having our meeting. He will take that down and we'll make sure that there's something that's age appropriate, that reviews for their final exam on the systems. But again, that's how we'll move forward with that.
Okay, so what about my kid? What about every other kid that saw this? What about every other kid? Parents don't know their kids saw this.
As parents that are bringing concerns to us, we're addressing them.
So you're not going to notify the other parents?
As parents are bringing things up to us, we're addressing them.
Yeah, so they're not going to send out a warning or some sort of thing, like, hey, something slipped through the cracks that was inappropriate. Like, even give like a bullshit answer, even a bullshit thing. They don't even want to do that, because if they acknowledge it, then they have to take responsibility for it. So they don't want to acknowledge it, which is crazy. Like, if somebody said that to me, I would just be like, point blank, like, dude, I'm gonna fucking tell everybody. Would you like to try first? Because I'm going to fucking tell everybody. It's going to be my version.
I asked you last time, with just the personality test alone, you need to notify all the parents. And you didn't. You didn't want to.
This was one particular teacher who has given this out in past years to collaborate. It is a survey that or questionnaire that he's used in the past when they're introducing labs. He, from what he's told me to the best of his knowledge, so those tabs that said, I guess, romantic relationships was not there in the past. And he's taking responsibility saying, I should have reviewed it, I just assumed.
So is this a fact check false? YouTuber users publicly posted personality test results that show romantic relationships appeared on the website assigned by 7th grade teacher at LCBMS as far back as 2017.
It was the same as it was in the past. I did not know that was there. He's like, to the best of my knowledge, it wasn't there. He's like, I've never had a student or a parent. He's like, I assumed that would have been brought up immediately if it was there in the past.
I believe that you both.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't know. We don't know if other parents have come forward. I don't imagine he would kind of disclose that information. I mean, he's telling them right now, he's like, well, I'm not going to tell anybody, if they don't come to me with the problem, then I'm just not going to say anything.
Oh, these students and the parents the ability to address what they may or may not have seen.
Like, she's being so fucking reasonable with these creeps, because she's not even like being a total asshole. She's just like saying, like, what if some kids got into some weird shit? Their parents might not know, and this could have done something to them. This could have changed some of their behavior, personality, whatever, thoughts about themselves. And they're none the wiser. They have no idea how their kids, like, these ideas would have cropped up in their child's head. So they can't even parent effectively. I mean, obviously, the failure was in being that disconnected from what your kids are doing and their homework and stuff. But beyond that, I think she brings up a very valid point. And the fact that they just kind of stonewall her about this issue is... it kind of tells you everything you need to know. They're worried about themselves. They're worried about saving their own asses. They do not care about you. They do not care about your children.
What happens to the results? He was just using them for his own personal.
Yes.
Birth control, herpes home tests.
And we'll notify
Find out
technology.
where to get your best sex doll. How to enlarge your penis.
Like I said, we'll notify technology of the website. Make sure it gets caught on our firewall.
But you will not notify the parents.
I have already said, any parent that reaches out to me will be happy to speak to.
Unless you make a formal,
Like I said.
a formal announcement, I'm going to have to make it higher, and I don't want to do
And I
that.
understand that, thank you. But we are doing, any parent that's brought anything to us, we will have spoken to.
Mr. Rulo, it's just not good enough. You have
I hear
to, you have to care about all of the kids.
I do.
I'm going to have to elevate this. I
I
don't want
understand,
to.
I respect that. I hear you. I'm just telling you that that's where we...
Yeah, but why would that be their official position? Like, if she's saying, like, well, I'm going to tell on you, it kind of almost indicates that they have notified the higher ups and asked them for advice. I'm sure they have talked to a lawyer. They probably have talked to a lawyer, and this is what the lawyer advised them to do. Prof says, Undercover Mother, Eddie Griffin's finest moment.
We are. Teacher has apologized. We are working to put things in place. We thought we did, and we're going to continue putting even more stringent things into place to make sure things are better.
Worry about children.
I get it, so do I. All
But you're
1,400
not
of mine.
protecting them all.
All 1,400 of them are mine. I've always despised this about these people. They're my kids, our children. It's like, no, they're not your kids. And you're clearly demonstrating that you don't treat them like they're your kids. Fat fuck.
I will agree to disagree on
Basically,
that.
kids have been exposed to something, and you're going to keep it quiet.
Oh. All right, so let's see here. There is more. There's a part 2, and then the school board, I believe, gave a response once all this kind of stuff came out, because she didn't release this. Like this stuff's from, I think it's from 2023, and then some of the stuff is from 2022. Like some of the stuff when they'd cut to the kind of the just the tape playing. So she wasn't even like really out there to ruin anybody. Like I said, like she's being super reasonable. I mean, considering the circumstances and considering the pushback, considering this is the second time it's happened, showing that they had done nothing to address it the first time and continued to do this shit. She's being very fucking reasonable. I almost would say too reasonable.
From the teacher on the homepage.
Oh no!
You have to click on those links to get there, but
On the homepage,
I'm
you
backing
can
you up.
see.
You have to click on these links. I mean, who clicks on links?
He what? She unalived herself. Oh, no.
Gotta watch out.
Sex dolls, sex toys, penis pumps, sex enhancement pills, birth control.
So how did that happen?
We have already addressed this. It was an error by a staff member. We have handled it, and we are moving forward.
They're damaging to children.
I haven't seen that. I'll be honest. I haven't seen that pornography stuff. Whatever we have to do to support our students or whatever, we're willing to meet with families or whatever. We have counselors here to do that. If there are other children out there that you are aware of,
Yeah, you send them back to us because our judgment is so good. We have counselors here. You know, if there's other people that you talk to in private that you totally don't blast out anywhere, if you could just send them to us before they talk to anyone else, so they can see our counselors, so we can help them. Good God.
send them to Mr. Rulo.
At this point, I'm going to end our conversation, and I'm going to let you know that the building is moving forward.
The focus now is the children. I would ask that you send a message to the parent community that I care. And when something like that happens in our district, that's a problem. They need to know that.
But you all agreed not to notify the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I asked for this meeting, I did speak with Mr. Rulo, so we did clear some stuff up. So I'll just wrap up. Basically, what he told me was he spoke to you and Dr. Gagliardi at length about the situation, and that
Can I just hear what the situation was from your perspective, though?
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Of course. My child is 12 years old. He's in science class, and he gets a video for classwork and homework, and it had very inappropriate sexual language in it.
The homework that the teacher assigned?
Yeah, the assignment, the video assignment. Heavy.
He says, oh no, not here. The teacher assigned it? Oh my God. I mean, he knows the story already. At least he says he does. Was Frank Rulo not honest?
Petting, groping. Middle schoolers can't keep their hands off each other. And then, right before the meeting, I had looked at my son's Chromebook again, preparing for the meeting with Mr. Trinkle, the science teacher, and Mr. Rulo, and I found another assignment. Birth control, herpes home tests.
And we'll notify
Find
the
out best
technology.
where to get your best sex doll. How to enlarge your penis. There was a lot of content that he shouldn't see. It was pornographic.
So that's what inappropriate manner. That was the pop-ups or whatever that, again, I talked to you guys about. Maybe, but, can I just go back to the homework assignment, if you don't mind?
Okay.
Can we go back to that homework assignment where I have control of this conversation? Probably says I just want to fuck these people up. I mean, this won't stop until we start getting Shaun. It's one or the other. These people need to know who's in charge. Yeah, people need to get way more aggressive. People have been way too fucking passive about this stuff. Even when it comes to being involved in schools and stuff on a local level. If you want to send your kids to public school, you might want to think about getting on, the parent board or whatever. That are out there, because the people that are on those boards are monsters. It's all the Karens, it's all the freaks, it's all the weirdos, it's all the deeply empathetic people. People are, though. I mean, like, the whole homeschooling thing, which kind of started us on this part of the journey here, is a big part of that. Fuck these people. Take the control away from them. At some point, we're gonna go to a voucher system. And they're going to fight it for the next 10 years. But at some point, that'll happen. You'll be able to keep your money. Like, I can't even... Dude, if I had that, like, $8,000 to actually utilize for my kids' education, it would be awesome. It'd be amazing.
What was it? The one that the teachers...
Like, the things that are available to me as a homeschooler in terms of experiences, the types of classes, the pace at which we can learn things is... completely outmatches anything that would be available in a public school. And if I actually had money and resources to do that, holy shit, my kids would be geniuses.
So this has nothing to do with the technology. The teacher assigned.
Well, there was 3 different assignments that my son got over this school year. They were all 18-year-old and older content. They all had sexual content, sexually explicit media in them. One was in the fall. First of all, first week of September, that personality test. It was very disturbing as a parent to see that. It even states on the very first page of that website that it is for adult content only, and it gave him basically what his sexual inclinations would be. And then the other 2 were both given out on May 24th, which was 3 weeks ago. And this content is very disturbing.
From the teacher.
Yeah, I mean, I have my phone just to show.
Yeah, this is all his concern is, because they just want to, they're going to kind of obfuscate and they're going to pass the buck. They'll throw a teacher under the bus. They're like, well, it's from the teacher did it. The school has nothing to do with this. Well, you guys were alerted to it, and he continued to do it. So at that point, it is your fault. Doesn't matter how it got there. Prof says, Miss, I'm not following what your issue is with cum guzzling. Have you never guzzled cum in front of your son before? You some kind of bigot? You need to come down and visit one of our counselors.
I was thinking about you.
Show you. It's very disturbing. I assumed you saw the site. I was told that you saw the site, or at least I assumed that you saw the site.
No.
Because you talked at length about it with, I believe Mr. Rulo had talked to Dr. Gagliotti and you about the situation, because he had already told me.
Why wouldn't you go look at the site, buddy?
The building was moving on.
So I could tell you that I did speak to Dr. Norman as far as the situation in our meeting. He understood that our staff member had acknowledged it, and we addressed the situation with the staff member and technology. And then we're moving forward from it. I mean, you can definitely reach out to him directly to him, but I mean, at this point, we were moving forward at the building level.
So I had assumed you had seen the site.
No, what the conversation I had was, I know that there was pop-ups or something that you...
There was a video, but we blocked it as soon as we took over.
Yeah, I know that piece, or whatever. I mean, I read your email, and yeah, I don't want to see those types of things.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be exposed to those things. That's a little icky. It's a little weird. I don't need to see those things. But these kids saw it, and it's probably fine.
My
son is 12.
The pornographic stuff, but So yes, we did, block that stuff or whatever. But
why isn't the whole site just blocked? Why don't you just find a different website? If the website explicitly says like, well, not really appropriate for children under 13, and most of the content on there is not appropriate for children under 18, I think you should probably, find a new thing. You think that would have been a very easy thing to do? They have a deal with this website or something? Is there some sort of federal funding involved in this?
actual assignment itself from the teacher.
Yes, from the teacher on the homepage.
Oh, no. Shit.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Let's just say I'm a special girl.
What are you, retarded?
Okay, that's just one of the things. It's very pornographic images, sex dolls, sex toys.
So how did that happen?
The way the filter works is it's a combination of, I don't want to call it.
Why would you be linking to a site that links these things? It's so curious to me that they have no interest into why kids were being sent here in the first place. Just make sure you block those pop-ups. Like, these are the people that rule over you. These are our betters. They don't even know what the fuck is going on. They're all like half fucking retarded.
Term AI or whatever, but obviously algorithms that create and look for and categorize. And you also have human interaction. There's websites all the time. So depending on, I think, you originally said that website was something which is like science or related to it. So it gets miscategorized.
Yeah, but wait, let me just...
Please ask him. Ask him, why would anybody be at this site in the first place that provided links for this?
Forgive me, because I just want to get some context.
It was a teacher that assigned this. It was a teacher.
So the teacher assigned
oh my God, I was fucking joking.
a link or...
When there's an assignment, and I brought it up and actually showed Mr. Rulo, Mr. Trinkle, the assignment on his own Chromebook. We're going to go to classes. We're going to go to life science. And I'm going to go down to May 24th. Body systems reveal. So this is posted a new assignment, Stephen Trinkle, body systems reveal. I'll have an assignment, maybe different Google slides that they have to fill out or whatever, and then there'll be video links to things to fill out the information for homework.
And as soon as they click that link, that came up.
On the home page, on the very first home page, there are links at the bottom.
Oh, no, man.
In the content itself for the body systems, there's sexual.
It's like he's pretending to like he doesn't understand. He's like, the link? Was it a link or was it a pop-up? I mean, what was it? Somebody airdropped this onto your son's computer?
Language and sexually explicit media basically is what it's called, because this is for college kids. Every body system goes way above the 7th grade level, and then on the homepage is numerous links, and they're pornographic.
I mean, why are these even in a college? Like, say if this is for a college class, why would that be there either?
They're damaging to children.
You have to click on those links to get there, but no,
On the homepage,
I'm
you
backing
can
you up.
see
Yeah.
you can see about 30 links just
Yep.
on the homepage itself.
That's what I was going to say.
Sex dolls, sex toys, penis pumps, sex enhancement pills, birth control, STD tests, hormones.
And we remove those links.
It was blocked the website.
Block that website.
The other assignment that brought me to that meeting in the first place also talked about middle schoolers who can't keep their hands off each other. They love to heavy pet each other and grope each other.
Now, when the muscle cell is at rest, None of these strands are touching each other, but they really desperately want to. They're like middle school students at a formal dance. The myosin in particular wants nothing more.
So did the school think because he made a reference to middle school children that it was for middle school children?
More than to reach its little heads up and do some heavy petting with the actin.
Tropomyosin and troponin act as an insulation, chaperones, to protect them from groping each other.
They're the chaperones. They protect the actin from groping.
Now, energy from the broke ATP is stored inside the head.
So yeah, the myosin has a lot of pent-up frustration.
As the muscle is resting, it is preparing a stockpile of calcium ions to be used as a trigger when it's go time.
The chemical dance that allows this to happen is one of the sexiest things that goes on in your body other than, like, sex.
Also, why do they blur that guy's face out? I mean, I suppose, you want to be extra careful with something like this.
And you talk about this with Mr. Reno.
Yes, and Mr. Trinkle. I just couldn't believe it. And then I looked, just for college kids. I guarantee this wasn't approved curriculum either. How does that continue to happen?
Crazy, I have that video too. If you want to take a look at it at some point.
Obviously, I'm going to tell you, we don't condone that Mr. Blue the teacher. We don't. I haven't seen that. I'll be honest. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you said you didn't want to look. Ass munch.
Pornography stuff. I don't know if that's something common that you all have, but most of it is a little bit more benign.
Exposure to sexually explicit media in early adolescence is related to risky sexual behavior in emerging adulthood. This is from the National Institute of Health in 2020. There's also a TED Talk about the effect of sexualized media, that sexualized media and pornography without proper education is harmful and detrimental to children's physical and...
So she's bringing up all this kind of stuff because she wants them to make an official statement and inform, any parent that might have a child that experienced this. She's being so fucking reasonable. Like, imagine just like giving this lady a hard time. Say if we want to, let's be good faith. These guys that she's talking to don't know anything about it. It's not their fault. They actually want the best. They want the best outcome for this situation. Like, for what reason would you not want to tell people that a mistake was made? They don't care. They just care about themselves.
Mental health.
Sexualized media and pornography without, and here's the key part, without representation or proper education can be incredibly harmful and detrimental to our physical and mental health.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what the tone and tenor of this TED Talk is, the effect of sexualized media, because sometimes these kinds of TED Talks are used as they're used to kind of push this idea that you need to teach children sexual literacy and watch porn with them in the classroom so that they don't get funny ideas about sexuality, which should be a parent's job. I mean, they're not wrong in the sense that like porn is pretty fucking crazy these days. I can't even imagine. I mean, think about being like a young teenage guy or like a 13-year-old and having unfettered access to pornography in the way that we do now. Like, holy shit. Like, no wonder why there's so many fucking problems right now. Whether it comes to just like people being able to sustain functional relationships or get laid in the first place. Dark times, dark stuff.
Especially those of us who are too young to really know the difference.
Even on your Lakeland policy, your computer and internet use policy 6154, it talks about what's harmful to minors. And all of this appeals to the prurient interest in nudity, sex, or excretion. They did depicts, describes, or represents in a
Yeah, so something should happen to the person that assigned this thing. Whether they knew those links were there or not, let's say they didn't know. They still provided it and they still continued to use it after the fact. So, whatever. They're gone. You know, you don't get to make that kind of mistake.
patently offensive way with respect to what is suitable for minors, lewd exhibition of the genitals.
Whatever we have to do to support our students or whatever, we're willing to do. And what I mean by that is through our resources. I will work with Mr. Rule or whomever to get them whatever resources they need. They need to talk to someone, or we need to meet with families or whatever. We have counselors here to do that. So that's a given. The other given is I would hope that when we say sexually explicit content, I would hope that we're not exposing students to pornography, which would.
Yeah, because they're gonna like make the semantic argument probably behind the scenes too. I'm sure they've talked to a fucking lawyer. That it's not pornography. It's just information. It's just visual aids. It's just things to help students. Yeah, I mean, is it kind of age inappropriate? I mean, sure, but it's 2023. Everybody.
You are.
I'm not a guru in that. Obviously, I'm not. But I do know that there's different types of different levels of sexually explicit.
So what level of sexually explicit content would be appropriate for 7th graders, Tracy?
Content. This is my first time ever you're seeing that. In my 20 years you're here. And that's not to say that it doesn't happen. But I know when we vet things like our curriculum maps and those types of things that we have on Atlas and those things, I've never seen that. But if there's something we need to do in terms of...
I doubt you've seen any of the curriculums or anything that's been added to the curriculum by individual teachers. Probably says this guy doesn't know what lolicon is called. He just knows there's 8 terabytes of it on his laptop.
Of counseling to help these students that are affected by or whatever. We're willing to do that. We're willing to do that, and that's my promise to you. If there are other children out there that you are aware of, send them to Mr. Rulo.
Why?
And I'll make sure that they get whatever support that they need. And I'll speak to him to make sure that we can alert our counselors, our clinicians, or whatever, and get them what they need. I have to believe that 3 exposures is not our best. I have to believe that.
I have to believe that 3 exposures is not our best. 3 exposures from the same site over a 2-year period. Oh my God. And this is just the person that found out about it. God, these guys are such scumbags. Like, you have no rights to your own children. You give them over to people like this, they don't care.
I know how you feel about that. But
Mr. Trinkle again has a periodic assignment from .com. The most recent articles right now has a story about primates and how they've been masturbating for 40 million years.
It just keeps getting worse. Don't you get it, guys? Primates just jerk off wherever they want. And, at the end of the day, you're just a hormonal animal. So check out these pictures of primates masturbating. I mean, this is so fucked up. Like, how is that Steve Trinkle guy, I think, still works there? How the fuck could that person, how can we not put these pieces together, guys? Well, that's the thing. They do put it together, but they just circle the wagons, protect their own, because who knows what skeletons they have in their fucking closet.
This isn't one issue. That personality test alone was a real big kicker. It only makes me wonder Who wants to know what my son's proclivity to certain sex is? This isn't 2 issues.
Heavy petting, pent up frustration, groping, sex.
This isn't 3 issues. And there's a good picture of a sex doll. She looks just like a girl.
But see, that's one of the things that we're working on with Mr. Trinkle as far as editing. That went up higher.
I mean, how many times do you have to work with a guy? How many chances do you get? How many chances do you get at a fucking public school? Holy shit. You think that it would be very few. You know, you would think that when people fuck up or fuck around like this, it would be like, sorry, see you, buddy. I would get a lawyer if I were you. You think the school would even do that to protect itself, right? Throw somebody under the bus or whatever. They don't even do that. It's their ride or fucking die. Like, yeah, dude, we're all kind of creeps.
To us having our meeting, we'll take that down and we'll make sure that there's something that's age appropriate, that reviews for their final exam on the systems.
Mr. Rullo told me that he spoke with you and Dr. Gagliardi and that it was a personnel issue, a technology issue, that as a building, meaning Copper Beech, and I guess the district, is moving on now from this issue, and that the parents weren't going to be notified, no other parents were going to be notified about the situation.
We have already addressed this. It was an error by a staff
How many times are you going to call me? Are you going to keep calling me?
member. We have handled it, and we are moving forward. At this point, I'm going to end our conversation, and I'm going to let you know that the building is moving forward.
That is true. There's always 2 perspectives. I'm just talking to him. It's different than talking to a mother.
Yeah, you know, you guys get emotional and you care about your kids. You're not like us.
You know, he shared these things, and look, I don't want to paint a picture that I'm this perfect person,
but goddamn, I'm good at my job.
No, I don't want. If somebody tells me that here's a pornographic site, I don't want to see that. I don't want to go and dig. I want to direct. Take it down. You know, fix it. Do what we need to do. And we did have.
It must be tough having to be a grown ass man with a fucking job that has to go look at shit like this. I mean, this guy is literally sitting here talking to this woman. He's about to tell her again that they're not going to inform anybody, etc. And he's saying that it's too weird for him. I don't want to be exposed to that kind of stuff. I don't want that kind of sin on me. Ugh.
Those conversations, and I am aware that, you know, there were websites and things that you share, but to get into to hear it come out of your mouth, some of these things and these examples, to see those pictures and to know that
know that you didn't do your fucking job, Black Mr. Clean.
Children of the sort, I can't not be a father. You don't get to turn that on and off. No, it's just hurtful. That's all. But look, acknowledge, you know, that it happened, and we're going to correct it. We're going to continue to work these filters and do everything we can to prevent that type of stuff. And we are in contact with the teacher and other teachers to vet these things. But the focus now is the children. There are other children out there. Well, the other children out there, they need to see you, Mr. Rullo. And I would ask that you send a message, you know, to the parent community that I care.
Again, it always circles back. Oh, well, what is my culpability? What is the school's culpability? Make sure everybody out there that is definitely going to be really angry if they find out about this, make sure they know I'm a good guy. Like, you know, I like my job.
We are human beings here, regardless of titles, responsibilities. We're human beings. And when something like that happens in our district, that's a problem. They need to know that.
I don't know why I would be the one to notify the parents.
Well, he's like, well, I don't really want you to. I mean, you could not notify the parents. Yeah, because that's what he's saying. He's like, I want you to send it out there. Let's send out the feelers. Let the people know that we care and we're doing the best that we can. We got it handled and we're human and these kinds of things happen. You know, we're just like you. We're just like you.
I think what he was saying is because if parents are telling you, if they come to you, express that to them.
Mr. Rulo had made the decision with Dr. Gagliardi and you, and he agreed, you all agreed that, I'll make sure, because now I'm shocked that you didn't see the website, but you all agreed not to notify the parents.
Yeah.
Well, how are the parents going to come to you with concerns if they're not notified?
Well, if nobody's complaining, then nothing bad happened, you know? I mean, they must have been cool with it.
I think they would email, they would contact us if they had issues or concerns.
No harm, no foul.
If their child comes home or if there's problems, I would expect that they would reach out to us.
Do you think a child that sees pornography or other sexual content will go right up to their parents and tell them they saw it?
That I don't know.
I mean, who can read the mind of a child? Who can read the mind of anybody, really? If you're asking for psychic ability, ma'am, I think you're asking for too much. You are belligerent, and we're about to call the police.
I imagine some would, some might not. I mean, children are children, right? Some report things every day when they go home. Some families don't have those relationships. But I think it's the behaviors. If behaviors change or there's some concerned behaviors.
Listen, some kids, they can handle it. Other kids can't. You know, and who are we to judge?
Yeah. Our response is, we're here to listen. I would hope that your children are affected.
They're here. They're listening.
I was thinking about you.
They were thinking about you.
That they would come forward.
All right. I think there's one more thing we can check out from this. So that was the part 2. That was kind of the undercover investigation. There was a response, I think. Where is it? Here it is. So, the Lakeland Board of Education responds, mother who exposed sexualized and pornographic homework is reprehensible. Admins who refuse to tell parents, we salute your professionalism. Teacher who gave kids psych tests, links to sex dolls, penis pumps, and inspiration. Part 2 coming soon, it says. So, okay, that's just... Okay, here we go. So let's just see. So this is what the school board, when these videos were kind of, I guess, initially released, this is how they responded to it.
On behalf of the entire board, I want to address a recent incident involving the unauthorized release of an edited video. The edited video released on a special...
Look at these slimy words. An edited video. My dude, they weren't that edited. Adam E. Kaufman.
Interest social media site.
Like they didn't distort any information. That's what I mean. Clearly it's edited. But there's no distortion of information. There's nothing... the full context seems like pretty well represented.
Reported a meeting between a school administrator, teacher, and a parent. It is reprehensible to think that a parent would do this solely for the purposes of embarrassing the teacher, the administrator, and the district a year and a half.
Yeah, you pushed her to the point where she had no other recourse but to shame you. She came to you and tried to work this out, and you didn't give a shit. Your cronies didn't give a shit. So this is their public statement. It's to shame a concerned parent whose young 11-year-old kid was given pornographic assignments. I mean, that psych test, what was that psych test?
After the issue was dealt with appropriately by school and district leadership. The board would like to express its strongest condemnation of this action.
Who cares? You know, they do something like this, and who are they doing it for? Who are they doing? Would they think in a million fucking years this would make them look good? Especially, I mean, well, I guess they're hoping for the uninformed, the people that are the casuals, the normies, that just kind of adhere and believe everything they hear from these authority figures.
And emphasize that it's not only a violation of board policy to record a meeting on school property, but it goes against the values and principles that we uphold as a district. It not only breaches the trust and confidentiality of the meeting, but distorts the true context and intent of the discussions that took place.
Yeah, it's called protection. You want to protect yourself, because imagine if she didn't have this footage. If she didn't have these meetings recorded, nobody would have believed her. They could have just denied it. They could have called her a kook, that she was crazy, that she was making trouble, etc. But no, now she has the receipts. Now she has documented that she tried her best. She was very reasonable with these people. She was just asking them to notify the parents. That was her goal. She said it over and over and over again.
We'll be working closely with our legal advisors to address any legal issues related to this incident and to take appropriate action if necessary. The board wants to express its unwavering support of the superintendent, our school administrators, and especially our teachers. Your dedication and the positive.
And I love the smear thing of like something that happened a year and a half ago. Okay, so you got caught. If somebody commits a crime, a heinous crime, the statute of limitations is pretty long. Pretty long.
Positive impact that you have on our students' lives is an inspiration. We salute your professionalism and integrity in handling this challenging situation. We want to emphasize that the conduct of any one individual does not reflect the values or principles of our school district or the broader community. Lakeland is committed to fostering a supportive and respectful environment for all. We will not tolerate any behavior that undermines this commitment, and we encourage parents to bring their concerns to our administration, counselors, or any other support personnel.
And they also have to admit that, yeah, it was inappropriate, and your kids, all your kids saw it. So, okay, well, I think that's all that there is for this story right now. But yeah, go check it out. If you're on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, check out SageOps _ @SageOps _ I guess to keep up with it.